Once again, it's all about coming right out the gate on this one after the little pickup from the band. It's the classic Albert Collins slide into the root note and shake the living daylights out of it. Now, here's the trick and how I do it, what I got from Albert. He's using that capo, so he would pop the low string because it's already fretted for him by the capo, and then sting that high one. Well, you can kind of do it like that. I do it off the octave up. So I'm hitting the root note of the tune there, and on the D string, the C here, and then slide in up to the octave of that. And it gives it that little sting. And of course, Albert's C there is here because he's got that string tuned up a tone. So he's got a C there and a C there. So he's got another open C. So again, that would be capoed, and he'd be just basically raking the open strings and then diving into that. And he's got that wide vibrato, you know. Real stinging, that's what you're aiming for. And the same thing, often he played the 7th on the 4, so it's quite dissonant sounding, but in a cool way. So that's the note. You see why the major third is there, but he'll hit that over the 4. And then do these cool... something along those lines. So, you know, if I try and do this right now, I'll probably mess it up. It's one of those things you have to feel your way up and slide up to a note that isn't a scale note. So it's sort of playing outside. So, and then bend the last bit of it until you get to a note that's almost in tune, but it's that tension. So I'm doing it there. You can go to the 13th fret or the 14th and then bend the rest of the way. But it's something you kind of have to feel your way out and listen. You know, it's not an exact science, and it wasn't for Albert either. Then we've got all these cool little rhythmic things he would do. Just pop in those low strings. You know, that kind of sound. Now, I'm using my pick because that's how I play for the most part, but I might occasionally palm it and get that real snap. He has a cool way of playing the 5 chord again with the bend that he'll push it all the way up. So I love that one that he does. And these little hammer-on things, there's such a... and leaving that little punctuation on the 6th on... As I've said before each time, take the time to experiment with this kind of sounds that you're getting from Albert. We're not trying to play exactly like he did. We're trying to get the vibe, have him in our mind. So, you know... So we can take Albert's kind of ideas and move them down here, which he didn't have access to because he's capoed up. So as always, you know, use these guys, the wonderful treasures that they've given us, as a springboard to find your own way around the guitar and take the time to, well. That kind of thing. One more little cool thing that I got from Albert Collins, and I do it a lot, whether I'm in a Collins vibe or not, it adds some real meat to the sound, is just lightly playing the low E string with, I'm holding it with my thumb, so I might be going like just a simple lick like that, but I might go. So I just hit it in there, and it's like a little, a little bassy knock. So even if I'm not going for a Collinsy vibe at all, I'm just doing that, like muted with my thumb. I do that a lot, and it just puts like a little extra oomph into a line, So it's the rhythmic phrasing of it that's important. It's just like a little setup to a higher note. With such a distinctive sound, it's easy to have fun kind of really going for an Albert Collins vibe, and I still do that these days. Bridge pickup, just ringing it, But more than anyone else, for me, in my own playing, I've found him a great source of ideas that they're almost now disguised in my playing, but really come from Albert Collins. His playing is an interesting combination of sort of unique and yet versatile, and it's endlessly inspiring. And you know what? If I'm not feeling great, I put on an Albert Collins record, and I always feel better. And if for nothing else, that's why he's one of my all-time favorite musicians and absolute biggest hero.